Hey there, ladies. Look, it's a dude. We don't have dudes on this channel very much. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. I'm so excited that you're here today because we're going to hear a story that I'm really interested in because I don't know that much about it either. I'm joined today by Alex. Alex, say your last name for me. I read it and I'm not sure I've got it correct.
It's Alex Mondosian. I didn't, we have our names underneath. I didn't put it because I thought we would run out of space. So I just put Alex.
It's a lot of syllables in that. And Alex, I think you're very rare on this channel. I think I've only had two other dudes before. One was Dr. Zach Bush. So you're definitely good company there. And then I had Garrett from BIRCH Boys. He does a wonderful line of mushroom tinctures. He's been on a few times. He's a darling boy. Like he's 24, owns this incredible company. So you're in good company because all those other two guys were so wonderful and they had so much to share. What we're going to be talking about today, you guys, and Alex has got a great story and I'm excited just like you are because I haven't heard it. And it's talking about a different effect or a different improvement from C60, which you guys know I'm absolutely in love with, than I had. Mine was kind of a skin thing, a beauty thing, an energy thing. Alex's story is different. It's a little dramatic, and we're going to really have a good time going into it. So stick around because we're going to learn about good things about health, and you guys know that's what I'm all about, because why grow old if you're not going to feel good? What's the point? Anyway. So Alex, why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself and then starting with your story. And I'm just going to pop up every now and then with questions because I know we're going to talk about oxidative stress, which I know this much about. So take it away, Alex.
Well, before my story, there is a silent assassin that attacks our body at any age, not over 50, over 60, like over 20, over 30, over 40. And the reason it's a silent assassin is people typically don't talk about it. It is the root cause of bad skin or an unhealthy body. And it's just known colloquially as oxidative stress. And so I'm sure all the ladies and the few smart men watching, I'm sure they've heard of antioxidants, right? So the way you go up against and battle and conquer oxidative stress is to have an antioxidant. And you just did a little commercial for the most powerful one on the planet called C60. And that one is for internal. For external, it's also just as good. I know you use, the skincare products as I do. But my background is I'm 61. And I started a digital marketing company 3 years before Google was born in 1995 called Marketing Online. It's still around. I'm in semi-retirement. And I've had a great life. I have two children. They're 25 and 23. I have a former wife. I've been married once, and we co-parent really well together. So I'm very blessed there. And I had a great childhood. I don't have many complaints. But the one thing that I know over the years as a man, and I know women know this more than men do, is if I were to give all the ladies a pop quiz, what's the largest organ in the human body? Okay. If you know your stuff, then you would say your skin. Now, what most women and men don't know is that the skin is about 15% of your body weight. The second largest organ is your liver, which is about 3.5 pounds on most people. Some are bigger than others. But imagine 15% of your body weight is your skin. And so if oxidative stress is hammering away at that has the most, right, availability for oxidative stress to be attacking, right? Then that's why the skin goes bad. Now, many women, and I have plenty of female friends. My mother passed, but I have a sister and I have plenty of lady friends who always confide in me about the newest facial products they're working on, right? And they're focused mostly on above the neck, and I love, what you do with your Sunday newsletter. What are the latest products you've tried, and you just tell it like it is transparently, but most of it is above the neck. And so I'm going to challenge every woman and hopefully a few smart men listening, is think about all of your skin throughout your body, from head down to your toes and from your toes up to your head, because when the tide rises, all the boats rise, and that's external. Um, and then internal, I'm going to talk about that as well, because I had a dark day of my life a couple of years ago. Um, I needed antioxidants internally so I could get back into fitness. So there's external, which you talk about mostly, and internal, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about. Both are foundational just to have a higher quality of life, Kimberly.
Okay, I'm going to jump in with a question here because, oxidative stress is a big, long chain of letters. Can you break it down? I understand it has to do with antioxidants and this and that, but can you make it simple for us to understand what oxidative stress is and how it impacts our bodies?
Sure. You can Google this term, free radicals. There are all these that are out there in the world, and
They're the troublemakers.
they are troublemakers. They're kind of like the bad kids, but they were never put in the corner with the dunce hat on. They are actually teaching the class. So these free radicals are out there, and it gets worse and worse because as we grow older, our susceptibility of having them attack us, and we've been attacked over the years, and I call it a silent assassin because people they just don't notice it. It's not like getting a wound and then patching it up. So just imagine that you're getting attacked by these villains out there that are in the environment. They could be radiation from your wearables, like a smartwatch or your iPhone. They could be from pollution. They can be UV light, from the sun. I mean, basically, if you're breathing today in Western or Eastern civilization, you're going to get hit with free radicals. So the foundational part of taking care of having great skin and a great and healthy body is to handle the oxidative stress before it takes over. And so you have these little generators in your body. There's over 30, get ready for this. It's the only clinical stuff I'm going to talk about. 37.4 trillion of these little power generators. There's cells in your body, and they are called, long word, mitochondria. That's what they're called. Now, when they start shriveling and they're not working at the cellular level, right? It's at the cell level, then you stop functioning well. And this is the core and root cause of what goes wrong. Many people look at the symptoms and stuff. Oh, I have like dry skin, or I'm getting crow's feet. Those are all symptoms. Okay. The root cause is oxidative stress and mitochondria not working as a power generator anymore. There's more mitochondria in every woman's body listening right now than there are stars in all of the universe, like 37 trillion of these things, right? So what my story is about is oxidative stress became such a bad thing, and my mitochondria were so compromised, I actually died for 40 seconds. I flatlined in a hospital in Scottsdale, Arizona. So I'm happy to tell you that story. But today at 61, sometimes I have people say, lady friends of mine, the guys don't ask me this. Hey, do you get Botox on your forehead? I go, no, I haven't done any invasive stuff. I have crow's feet, so they don't ask me about my eyes, but my forehead is pretty good for 61, right? Unless I go like this, right? And so, and then also if I'm at a fair, like I went to 2 fairs that I would frequent: Orange County Fair in Southern California, where I'm at, and then Northern California, where you are, the Marin County Fair. And there's always a guy who guesses your age, right? And so my daughter would always take me to that guy at the very end, and we would win the big panda bear because he'd always guess about 10 years younger. Now, if the ladies are watching, I don't know if I look young to you or not for a 61-year-old, but in the gym, I would look young because I've maintained that health and wellness by not letting oxidative stress take over my body. So that's really, the goal here. My premise, and this is for everyone listening, I believe that if you're over 50, your best years, for your skin and your outer and your inner health is ahead of you. It's not behind you. I think your best years are ahead.
I want to stop you a minute and back up a little bit because you guys, you don't realize what he actually went through physically. You contracted valley fever.
Mhm.
And I'm familiar with valley fever because of the area I grew up in.
Mhm.
It is serious. It is a serious illness, and that's what led to you flatlining.
Mhm.
So tell me how you got involved or even exposed to C60, because I know that it is such an under the radar thing. People even still, you could stop 10 people on the street and ask them, "Are you taking C60?" And they go, "What?"
Yeah, what is it? You know? So
So you flatlined. You must have been in bad shape, Alex.
I was in really bad shape. It was May 5th, 2023. I'm in semi-retirement. I had broken up after a multi-year relationship, so I had to take myself to the emergency room because I just wasn't feeling right. And then that evening, the doctors told me, the pulmonary and the bacterial guy and one other doctor, I had actually died for just over 40 seconds. I didn't see any white lights or any, I don't remember it, but I do remember when I came to, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. So after a lot of testing, they realized I had valley fever, and that turned into double fungal pneumonia in my lungs. And fungal pneumonia takes a long, long time to recover. So they gave me 2 years to recover and no working out and just take it really easy. And I said, no way, I can't do that. And I struggled with it because the antifungal medication was making my condition worse. And the MDs were promising me a lot, but they call it alternative medicine, but traditional medicine that's worked for 5,000 years, starting from the Chinese and, moving, to the current day. That's what I ultimately, believe in. And so I got this quote in my bedroom and it's by a woman, and she was the wife of a president, Eleanor Roosevelt. And I read it every single day. And it says, it's better to light a candle than to curse the darkness.
Yeah.
So I was cursing the darkness.
So this was in
20,
2022? Are you
2020.
kidding me?
No, I'm not. I'm telling you the
That's
truth.
not very, you look fat. I mean, valley fever is a serious thing, you guys.
This is the story because this is
Wow.
literally not even 3 years ago. And I'm not even telling you the part of athletic stuff that I've done in that meantime. And so I'm trying to get better, and I'm doing everything I can between IV therapy, etc. And it's working. Then I stumble upon a mutual friend of ours, and she was in a business organization in a mastermind group I belong to. And her name is Jessica McNaughton, and she's the founder of uh, C60 Power, and shopc60.com. And I helped her out with a few things in marketing and writing a little bit of copy and helping her with the talk. And she's very generous, and she sent me a bunch of C60. Now, I didn't realize it was the most expensively manufactured C60 of its kind. I didn't realize that was 99.99% pure, unlike other C60s on the market. It was like the Tiffany and Company, of C60s. And most people don't even know what C60 is. Uh,
Right.
and the short version is it's a molecule that has 60 atoms. It looks like a soccer ball, and it has magnificent impact on the body. And they've done testing with it in 2012 where rats on C60, usually most animal testing is a terrible ending. These rats lived 90% longer on C60. So that's like me. I'm 70. If I'm 70, I'm going to live to 133. Okay. So just add 90%. So there's been a lot of studies on it. But the interesting thing is, I didn't know what I had. I just started taking it religiously, internally. And then she sent me skin product. I took it externally. And within 3 months, people were asking me, what do you do? Are you going to a cosmetic surgeon? Like, what's going on? Literally, I'm not doing this as a commercial for C60. And so I said no, and I kept getting feedback like that. Now the recovery for valley fever, it's typically 2 years to never. Right? I recovered within 6 months. I did a personal best at a very challenging time trial within a year, and I have to attribute the C60 oils. And I don't focus as much on the skin as the probably ladies listening and watching to your show do. But I will tell you, ladies, foundational health, the internal, is just, if not more important than the external.
Yeah. And I'm going to pop in right here and share my experience because it's relevant. I I had been, somehow C60 got in touch with me, or I got in touch with them or something. And I was trying the C60, the internal. And I thought, well, I'm going to try it for about 2 months and see how I like it. And then I can talk about it if it seems like something that, I like. Here's what happened, Alex. It's the weirdest thing. I spent 35 years as an illustrator, professional illustrator. So my visual acuity is freakish. I can notice a pica off at 50 paces. I mean, it just is.
Really?
And so I would be pouring my coffee in the morning and looking down at my arm, and like my skin was different.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like the junctures of my skin were tighter. That's the only thing I can describe it as. And then I'd be sitting around the house and I'd put my legs, I was living in Florida at the time, so you're always in shorts. I would put my legs up on my footstool,
Mm-hmm.
and I would look at my legs and go, what is going on? And I realized that my skin was being impacted from the C60. So I got back to Jess, who had wanted me to try the skincare. And I was like, pass, because everybody wants me to try their skincare, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I'll pass on the skincare. And then I got a hold of her. I said, you better send that skincare over, because what the oil was doing was pretty spectacular. And then I used the skincare, and, it's like a 1-2 punch.
I mean, how many skincare products are the women watching or listening right now, or in the future, how many have won a Nobel Prize of the stuff that's inside it? And C60 won a Nobel Prize in 1996. None of them. And one of the things, it is the world's most powerful antioxidant. I mean, I have to do a commercial on that. It's a
not by a little bit,
172 times more powerful than vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. Now, I did a little bit of listening to some of your stuff, and you talk about vitamin C being the brightener, vitamin B being the nourisher, and vitamin A being the tightener. So that really landed on me. And those are antioxidants. But imagine if you have it all in one place, and you have it for your skin and for your insides. And they even have gummies that I use before working out. So as it relates to over 50 or 60, even over 40, there are really three thieves. And if anyone's listening, this is worth writing down. The three thieves that really steal your look away, and the way you feel and the way you look to others, that they steal years and years away. If you're 40, you may look 50. If you're 50, you look 65, and so on. And those are, number one, recovery time. Okay. You need a lot more recovery time than you did in your 20s or 30s. And not enough men or women over the age of 50 spend enough recovery time in what they're doing. Just time off, whether that's sleep, or if you go to the gym, what do you do for recovery? Do you have massage once a week? What do you do for recovery? So that's number one. Without recovery, you age faster. The second is your cellular function. I'm going to use that fancy word, mitochondria. They start to shrivel. They think of a prune, right? They start to shrivel, and that means less good stuff can go in there. And so now it's like having 1 trillion of them instead of having 37 trillion. Okay, so you have to rejuvenate. Rejuvenare is a Latin term to make young again. Rejuvenate, you can actually rejuvenate mitochondria, make them young again through C60. It's reverse aging. I can't say that technically, but this is what my experience has been. And then third is inflammation. And I don't think this is a technical term. Inflammation is like the first sign of something's wrong. When something is inflamed, and it's the body's signal that, hey, something is wrong. So I tried the supplement graveyard. It didn't work. I tried standard biohacking, spent a fortune on all this biohacking stuff. So much misinformation. Maybe at the risk of too much information, macro dosing antioxidants like vitamin C. The only thing I could report is it didn't come out the right way later on. So yuck. Okay. And that's not the case, with this. Now, this in conjunction with other forms, like if you do any peptide therapy, if you take, other supplements, this actually raises the tide, on that. So I'm not going to say it saved my life. It just accelerated my recovery. So I look and feel better, and I'm a lot stronger, than I
Yeah.
was years ago.
I'm amazed, Alice, because I had thought the valley fever was like a decade or more ago.
You did?
Because of the area, I'm from California, valley fever is a thing here.
Oh, yeah.
It's devastating. So I'm really impressed. And you said time trials. What sport are we talking about here?
Well, there's a company called F45, which is it's a studio where you go in for 45 minutes and you have these stations. It's kind of like CrossFit, but
Yeah.
much lighter, and men and women of all shapes and sizes. You don't have to be super fit, to do it. And so there's 330,000 people uh, globally and 3,300 studios. And the actor Mark Wahlberg is a partial owner of F45. And so at 61, I did a time trial that the F45 people do from time to time globally, and it's called the Spartan 300 workout. And it comes from the movie 300, about Sparta. And I think it was 2009 it came out.
Great
And
movie.
I thought it was a great movie. I mean, a little bit hokey, but it's fun. It's a great story.
Hey, all those dudes on screen, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, and they weren't airbrushed. That was for real. And so,
I
so
know.
let me tell you why. Because it was the workout. See, the Hollywood makeup people and the Hollywood workout people, they have to get these guys and gals fit really, really fast. And so the workout that they did to look that way, their bellies were not airbrushed. That was the real deal. They worked out constantly, and it's called the Spartan 300. So it's 300 reps. It's 50 pull-ups, 50 deadlifts with 135 pounds, 50 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 50 box jump on a 24-inch box. You jump up and down. You get on your back and you do these windshield wipers, 50 of those, 50 with a kettlebell of 36 pounds raising over your head. And then that's the workout. And so I first did that when I was 49, and I did it in about 20 minutes. And then I started getting better and better at it. After C60, I did something that no 60-year-old, actually no 40-year-old in all of the 330,000 F45 studios has ever done, and that's break 12 minutes. And at 61, so I got a lot of attention on that, and now I'm doing a little mini documentary because I want to, Jess said, "Hey, I want to document this because I just take it for granted." But I definitely pair that with C60. Yes, the skin, I'm looking good while I'm doing pull-ups, but it's the internal stuff that's really making a difference.
Yeah, and that's been my experience. I've been on this skincare journey for 6 years now on YouTube, and I started my channel I was 62. I'm 69 now.
You hide it well.
And
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I think my 70s are going to be so much fun. I can hardly wait. I'm just really excited about them. Anyway, I started my skincare journey way back then because I looked terrible, had
Really?
never taken care of my skin.
Mhm.
And what I found, and my premise for my channel here, and you guys know that are watching, is everything had to be at home. It
Mhm.
had to be at home and as affordable as possible, home skincare stuff and devices. But what I found out along the way, and I hammer it on my channel, and bless you guys for listening to me year after year, getting your body healthy is the most important thing
Mhm.
because your skin is just part of your body. And the healthier I got my body, the better everything looked and the better I felt and the more energy I had. So for me, if you're not taking care of the inside, you might as well just not get a rip about the outside because it's not going to make any difference.
I'll,
It's
I'll,
all one and the same.
I'll tell you, I'm in the hospital. It's day 9. I'm still in the emergency room, right? And they took me out of ICU, intensive care unit, and all the money I had made, my kids, who showed up, past, partners had shown up. They thought I was on my way out, right? Um, Everything I've done to try to look good, physically, all of that stuff meant nothing
Yeah.
because I could barely function.
Mhm.
My body had just broken down. In fact, the doctors told me if I didn't have a routine like I did before, if I were, let's say, if I were obese at the time, and I've been very blessed, I've never been obese, but if I were obese at the time, or if I were some dietary challenges, or if I had some other type of ailment, I'd be dead right now. But
Yeah.
the fact that I was healthy. And so I believe for every woman watching or listening, I think 2026 can be different. Just do a little bit more study on, oxidative stress. And I don't think it's about willpower. It's about knowledge. You know,
Yeah.
I don't sleep next to my iPhone.
No.
I know people who do. I don't put my iPhone next to my ear. I always speak on speakerphone. And so all of that is causing oxidative stress. And so
Mhm.
if you can actually just look it up on Google, like what causes oxidative stress, just get out of the way of that. Even if C60 isn't part of your, regimen, just get out of the way of oxidative stress. And then I guarantee you'll look younger, in a few years.
Yeah. And, enjoy looking better, although I don't really spend that much time doing it that much. But my big thing is feeling good,
Hmm.
because if you're healthy, you can have lots of problems. If you're sick, you've got one problem.
Hmm.
And if I'm not feeling good, it's like life just seems like a big drag. But when I'm feeling better and I have energy,
Hmm.
it I wake up and I'm excited about the day, and I'm looking forward to things, and I'm interested, and I'm interesting, and that sort of thing. So feeling good is definitely, it's just like top on my list, because if you're not feeling good, you're cranky. And
You're less patient. You're less
yeah.
patient, and you make more mistakes. And
Mhm.
if anything, if any woman listening can get something out of this, is um, just know that foundationally, internal and external work together.
Yeah, they
Even
do.
even though the skin is the largest organ in the body and about 15% of your weight, external and internal, they work together. And I would always start internal first. You can't have fruit without the root. And just
Mhm.
think of nature, you know.
Yeah, perfect. And you guys, if you missed it, C60 is the boss event for this month. And that's why I wanted Alex to come on and tell his story. So if you're kind of on the fence, the boss special for this month with C60 is really good. It's really good. It's the kind of thing that if you've been looking at it and you thought, I don't know if I want to spend the money, it's worth it. This special is worth it. And it's the opportunity to give a try to not only the C60 oil, but the skincare as well. It's called the Inside Outside Bundle.
Mhm.
This is my goodies right here. This came out of my bathroom a few minutes ago. This came out of my bucket for my daily supplements. So the special is really, really good this month. It's an opportunity for you to try it at a really great discount. I think the discount is like $97. It's almost $100, which is huge. And then give it a whirl. And if it's not your cup of tea, well, you tried it. And if you have been using C60 and you love it, pick up the bundle, at least one, because you're going to get the things you love at a great, great price. So the boss event is C60 this month, which is why I wanted to have Alex on. And Alex, thank you. You've helped me understand some things that were a little murky or fuzzy for me before. And I have to say, good on you, guy. You look great.
Thank you. Well, I'll take it. I have four truths I want to finish with, and number one is um, there is no inevitable decline for anybody. There doesn't need to be an inevitable normalized decline. Yeah, that being can make you feel young again, because unconditional love, right? Um, and then the second truth is you can control oxidative stress. First of all, getting out of the way of it or eliminating it almost, with a product like C60. The third truth that people don't believe is your cells can regenerate. You can look younger again. And then finally, your best years are still ahead of you. I hope you believe that. And if you don't, I can't help.
Yeah. And that is such a truth, because now we have good health and we also have wisdom.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Wonderful. Well, Alex, thanks so much. I know this was very generous of you to take time out of your busy day and life to stop by and help me understand it and share your story with the viewers. And you guys, I can't say enough about C60. You know, I'm a fanatic about companies with integrity. And if we would just stop buying from companies with no integrity and just start supporting the ones that do. Jess is the founder of the C60 product line that you guys know Ken developed. Ken Schwartz developed this. And you guys know I'm such a fan of Ken's. He is just one of the good guys. Jess is the gal that put together this product for us because Ken just used it in the lab for himself and his team. Just said, hey, I think I can do something with this. So C60 Power is the company that Jess and her husband Chaz put together, which is wonderful. So if you on the fence, give the Boss event for this month a whirl. I think you're going to love it. And if it ends up not being for you, then at least you can say, I gave it a try, and you know.
I'll do better than that. And if Jess were here, she would tell everyone is try it. If it's not your cup of tea, ask for a refund and keep the product. Okay.
I didn't even know that was available. So thank you.
Unconditional. We won't even ask you why. We'll be disappointed, but we won't even ask you why. Our goal is to get it into your hands so you try it, and then most people continue with it. So it's absolutely guaranteed. It's risk-free. You get the refund. You keep the product. You don't have to ship it back the way you do with Amazon. And I think that's better than risk-free. So, give it a try.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex. And thank you so much for your time. It was just wonderful to get to know you and your story a little bit. And thank you everyone for joining me. I am so glad you stopped by. You guys know it just makes my day when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate you so much. All right, everyone, I'm coming out on Sunday with a newsletter and a great fun video. I hope you'll see me then Sunday morning. Thanks, Alex. All right, everyone.